Hey, how you doing? So today's project, we're working on an awesome little mini. It's a Squig Hog boy from the Beast Snagga Orcs 40k box set. So in this video, we're going to be painting the Squig Hog itself. Now, in the previous video, we prepped it, we primed it, and despite some of the challenges, we got it ready to go. Now, painting the Squig Hog itself can be tricky to stop it turning into like a red blob. So how can we do that? Let's go play with some paint. Okay, let's get some paint down. As always, I'm going to start from the most recessed area first. So on this one, I'm going to start on the metallics. And I'm going to block out all the kind of motorbike parts of this model. So as I've got a zenithal highlight on this model from when I primed it, I'm going to take advantage of that. So I'm going to use a Vallejo Model Air Hull Red to put a base down on the squig itself. Because it's quite translucent paint, it will show through those shadows and the highlights from the priming. So now I've got that base red down, I'm going to go over it again to try and accentuate where the shadows and where the highlight parts are. Right, so now I'm going to use a fire red to go over that. And once again, it's quite translucent paint, so you can take advantage of that because it will already show through some of those colour changes you've already painted on already. So right now it's looking rather red. So what I'm going to do for the areas I want to be a brighter red, I'm going to go over it again with that fire red. For the areas I want to be highlights, I'm going to add in some orange. And for the shadows and the lowlights, I'm going to add in some of that whole red again. And for the real shadow parts, add in some more brown into the mix. Always keep where the light source is going to be in mind. There's no OSL on this one, but I want it to look like it's outside. So you're looking at more of a global light. So I'm also trying to pay attention to where the sunlight will hit him. So where those shadows are going to cast on the underside around his belly, but also where the sunlight will hit it, and there'll be more of a brighter colour as well. If you get this kind of wrong, no matter how good your paintwork is, it won't read correctly to the eye. And it'll just look weird. And while I'm no master at this, I'm going to try and get it the best I can. Now I decided on blue for the eyes. I wanted more of a contrasting colour. And yes, green is more on the opposite side of the colour wheel, but there's going to be a lot of green on this anyway with the orc. And also because there's more orangey, yellowy tones in there, I figured the blue would be worth a go. And I think it works. Yeah, I quite like that. Even though you're not going to see it on the tabletop, I wanted to practice with doing eyes. So on this one, yes, it's got a black base. Then I've gone over that with a dark blue, and then gone over that again for more the pupil sort of area with a light blue, and that pinprick of white, the glint in the eye. Like, yep, the perfectionist in me is saying it's not perfect, but I quite like that. Now, teeth and things like that can be a bit tricky. If you paint them white, then once again, it doesn't look right. So I'm going to use like a beige on these, and then I'm going to go back and use some of that whole red to kind of almost wash in to add a bit of colour gradient to these teeth, and then mix some white into the beige highlights on the tips. Once that's done, what I find really makes it work, and I try and avoid using black washes normally. I find just dropping in like a pin wash, like a really fine black wash, just into the recesses between the teeth. The capillary action draws it along the recess, and it kind of gives it a more rounded depth to it. Now these armour panels, I want them to look white, but they're going to be really probably battered. So I'm going to start off with a grey first of all, and then I'm going to put like quite a streaky white over the top of it to make it look like a rough, battered paintwork. And it looks alright in a minute, but this will really come out when I start doing the weathering phase a bit later on. Right, I want to paint the tyre now. Now, the one thing people often get wrong, and this is something I learned when I was doing scale modelling, everyone thinks that tyres are black. They're not black. Look at your car tyres outside, they're not black. Even brand new tyres are not black, unless they've been treated and painted to look like it. So therefore, on this guy, I'm going to use like a dark grey first of all, and then I want to put some washes in there to put the recessy type bits, and at least to my eye it looks much more like a realistic tyre than like a black blob. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comments. So the next phase is going to be painting the Orc Rider himself, as well as the saddle grot on the back. This bit is going to be fun. So check out this video and I'll see you there. Bye!